Bobby played for the Dallas Cowboys. Tito wears assless chaps.
I'm dead sexy.
You're locked into Morning Juice.
The Capital Florida Columbus High School football game of the week takes us to New Albany Friday night as the Eagles host the Upper Arlington Golden Bears. W starts at 6:30, the kick at 7. After the game, it's Bayer Subaru Dublin's overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. Friday nights are for high school football on the Fan. Bob, Ohio State gets that huge win over Grambling. Huge being margin-wise, but 70-0 on Saturday. Breaking news. Spoiler alert. Julian Sayin looked great. Had the one mistake. Finished 18-19. Over 300 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Every pass was caught.
Every pass was caught. Not one of them hit the ground.
Already made the same comment to me. When I said he got one incomplete. He said, no, he doesn't, Dad. And we had an argument in the stands. But not an argument, a disagreement in the stands about that.
Did you guys get in a fight outside in the parking lot?
We didn't, but because we both had Ohio State laid the 55, so we were good there. But defensively, Bob, and I know you're always free. You have no problem telling me when I'm wrong. But I feel like it is a huge difference between 70-0 and 70-3.
3 points.
But no, it's 3 points, but it's more than that.
Anytime
you pitch a shutout
shutouts matter.
in college football now, and especially when Ohio State's obviously got their, fourth string guys out there, whatever, and still being able, Grambling State really doesn't want to get shut out.
Nobody wants to get shut out.
Right. I'm just saying, I think, though, Bob, it's more impressive to me. I just think between 70-3 and 70-6 or 70-10, there's no difference. But there's a huge difference 70-0 and 73.
I would agree with you on that. The delineation of having a shutout versus any points being scored is a big deal. And so I would rather win 56-0.
Yeah.
If you can always have that shutout, because that shows like they didn't have any big plays. You tackled well. You didn't give up any drives. And there were some times they moved the ball a little bit and they missed a field goal that maybe Bodie could. They missed a field goal that they could have got that kid from Ohio State to make, out there, or the Oklahoma kid who actually had with McAfee.
McAfee's giving away money this year.
He showed up in cleats. I was like, wow.
They've come out and said that McAfee, that really is McAfee's money.
I've told you that. Not
I know.
they. I told
they
you
and
that.
you.
Me.
You people. You've told me that. Okay. I don't know how much money McAfee has.
Money's not worth a thing till you spend it that off.
That's a lot of money to be given away. And just let's make it $200,000 right now. Let's do it. Come on, let's do it.
Then he'll go up there and just double it. I tell you what, you miss 4 kicks, I'll double it if you make the 5th.
Right.
He's great. That's why people love him. But that's why it's so good and it's so entertaining. But anyway, Grambling would have loved to have had any of those guys.
Yes.
And they went up there.
How many guys do you think Grambling would have needed on the field to win that game?
That's a great. If they have 12 or 13.
I think 13. Win?
How about make it a 4-quarter game?
I think 13.
Every play, 13 versus 11.
Yeah, I think.
You think they'd be better off with 2 more, or if Ohio State had 2 less?
I mean, it's question.
13 versus 11.
That's another great poll question.
That's the poll question. Would Grambling had a better shot if it was 13 versus 11 or 11 versus 9? I would love to hear both. What does that even mean? I mean, I think Grambling 11 versus 9 would have been better for them. The more players you can take off the field, because you got to think each player for Ohio State is going to be talent plus so much. So the more guys you can get off the field for Ohio State, the better it is.
True.
You don't want more out there.
Because they could have put 2 on Smith. And
I don't know if it still would have mattered.
What would be the math on that? 11 versus 10, which is probably still favorable to Ohio State.
Yes. So they're talking about the Bo Jackson stuff, and Bo played well. But also with that, the one touchdown run on the power, he cuts back. I'm like, I think I could have got through there.
Okay, yeah.
I
a
think I
huge
could
hole
have
there,
done
Bob.
that.
Okay, a huge hole. And so you
He
can't.
had to find it. He had the
you
vision.
still have to be looking. You still have to see it before you can do it.
There's been guys that have played at Ohio State that would not have seen that cut.
Jeremiah Smith ended with 5 for 119 and 2 touchdowns. Nice to see him get on track. But it was
one catch for 1,000 yards, basically.
Yes, that's what it was. And Bob, did you, in a game like this, did you learn anything about Ohio State?
Yeah, I think you do. You learned about their young players, guys that we didn't get a chance to see very much, and I don't know if they're ready for 3rd and 8 game deciding situations, but watching Riley Pettijohn out there make some big plays, seeing some of the younger guys go out there, Bo Jackson, Those guys do it. Watching Bryson Rodgers return punts and like make some plays. Like it was seeing Lincoln Kienholz. I'm sitting there and people are like, man, Lincoln looks pretty good. I'm like, Lincoln is good. So that's not surprising. When you're playing Grambling, he's going to look about the same as Julian Sayin.
I think that you might be, Bob, like the driver on the hype train for Lincoln Kienholz. I mean that like you.
It's not a negative thing. I just watched them both play.
No,
like
I'm not saying all, but I'm saying that because you were saying things about him in the preseason that I had not heard before, and it's true. He looked great out there. He really did. His QBR was higher than the Sayin's.
I mean, he dropped back. He threw the ball to the open guys. There's a lot of open guys, which helps.
Sure.
But he also got the ball out of his hand. He threw it with accuracy, threw with rhythm. I mean, he looked good. And that's his first real playing time as well. It's like you learn stuff about him. I thought the second-team offensive line that was blocking for Bo Jackson looked really good.
Yeah.
Like, those guys came in and they were opening holes, and they looked coherent. Like, this is the most depth Ohio State's had on the offensive line in quite some time. And so that second unit looked really good. Everybody that they were rolling in there looked good, and they looked crisp. Like, it shows that they were focused. There wasn't lapses in discipline and all that other stuff. So, yeah, I did learn some things. Now, did I learn that, hey, are they capable of going out there and, beating LSU right now or beating Miami, in back-to-back weeks? I don't know if anybody can discern that. Like, they played Texas, and you're able to take a lot from that and glean a lot of information there. But this was just more coming into this week. Do you have a team that's mature enough to treat this game how it needed to be treated? With the understanding of, hey, we're working on some other things, like we're doing this and that. We're better than them. Yeah, we can win no matter what. But can we win the way that we are expected to win and not have a dip or let off the gas? And they showed that.
Yeah, they absolutely showed that it was start to finish. You're right, the consistency of it throughout the game and the depth on the offensive line. Like, I think last year's offensive line was pretty damn deep, but we didn't know it was deep until we had to use the depth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think this one you can see the depth on the front end of it.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to suffer a couple of catastrophic injuries for us to find out how deep they are. We have the confidence, I think, in this team that their offensive line is already pretty deep. And the defensively, it was, you could tell, not that we expected anything different, but you could just tell that Grambling State had no chance. Why do we call them Grambling State? Can we just call them Grambling? I'm the one who's doing it, I know, but they were always Grambling just when I was growing up. That's where Doug Williams went to Grambling.
I went to church it up.
Yeah, there we go.
Joe Dirte.
I think that Ohio State just completely I was never worried about Grambling doing anything in that game from the start.
Oh, it was essentially a showcase.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of a Harlem Globetrotters feel to it. And that's fine. Like, that's how it should have felt, and that's how it should have looked. And so they did a good job, like I said, scoring the first 4 drives and then start getting other players in, and that's what they did. And part of it is defensively, don't be giving up drives. They gave up a little bit here and there.
Right.
I mean, Grambling could have made that field goal, but other than that, I thought they did a very good job.
The one bad pass was Sayin in the end zone that resulted in the interception. And then I think you could have charged Tavion St. Clair with assault after that one play where he led Bell out. Was it Bell who was out there, the receiver?
Yeah.
And got absolutely clobbered. Thankfully, Bell popped right up, but that was a huge hit there,
You
Bob.
also got to see Tavion St. Clair. Like, that was something else that was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed seeing that as well. A big win for Ohio State, impressive win for Ohio State. And it's like I said, I think this is, I told Ben to this, I think that this is about the perfect start for Ohio State. The win against Texas, this win where they absolutely took care of business, and now a slightly more impressive team in Ohio University. I shouldn't say slightly. A more daunting task against Ohio University this week.
Ohio University's good, man.
33.5.
I was amazed it was that high.
I remember you and I talked. I thought 17, 20.
21 is what I thought it would be. I mean, this wasn't a one-off. I mean, they could have / should have beat Rutgers. So what is that line going to look like? The same as this?
Right, yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm guessing. So Parker Navarro can make some plays, man. Their quarterback, this will be a challenge for him.
Yeah, and OU, you got kids on that team who, growing up, wanted to play in the horseshoe.
Yeah.
This is their shot.
This is their
shot to do it. In the polls that came out, we'll focus on the AP poll. It was Ohio State getting 57 of the 65 first-place votes. Ohio State followed by Penn State, then LSU, Oregon, Miami. 6 through 10 were Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame, Illinois, and Florida State.
We moved up. We didn't even play.
I was going to say that, Bodie. I talked earlier. I made the joke that God hates the Cleveland Browns. God loves Notre Dame. You cannot play and still make a jump in the standings.
Shout out to
Who
Troy.
did they move up?
Clemson
Oh,
fell
yeah,
for
because Troy.
almost.
Yeah.
Clemson fell, yes.
Almost losing to Troy.
I mean, they came back and won, so I give them credit for that. But,
Yeah.
I mean,
They shut them out. They were down 16-0. They outscored them 27-zip from there. But for a team that a lot of people was like, Dabo's back. Here's
Right.
their chance to kind of get back on top of the mountain. The first 2 weeks haven't gone very well.
Out of those 10 teams, I mean, Illinois at 9. I shouldn't say I'm surprised because I thought Illinois would be really good this year, but
the one over Duke was not insignificant.
no, it wasn't. No,
Yeah.
they were
And they
2.5 point
whipped
favorite
them.
on the road.
And
2.5,
they
yeah.
pulled away in the second half.
Yeah.
They imposed their will. It was tight in the first, and Duke was getting some pressure. I think they had 3 sacks or something in the first half. Looked good. And then the second half, man, they did what Brett Bielema did, man. They put the pedal down and went and got him.
And the fact that Florida State is now a 10th ranked team based on the way last season went for them, very surprising for me on that one.
They lost 10 games last year.
Right, I know they lost 10 games, and right now they're 10th in the country. I want to play some sound here, Bodie, from Ryan Day.
All right.
He is talking about this Coach Day after the game, his improvements from last week.
The issues are always going to be there. It's just a matter of identifying what they are. There's no secret this was not a matchup game, and I got a lot of respect for Coach, and I thought their team played hard in this game. They were outmatched, talent-wise for sure, and I think he expressed that. But I give them a lot of respect for playing hard and playing for 4 quarters all the way to the end. And so a lot of credit to how hard they played. But I thought early in the game it was good to get the ball pushed down the field. I thought Julian really had some accurate throws. The ball came out on time. The spacing and timing was good. The protection was good. Good to see the defense get some turnovers because that was an emphasis point for us to attack the ball. So we'll take a look at the film, and we've still got a lot of work to do. We're in a race to get better, and that's it. So, but I do think coming out of it, there was a lot of good things coming off of last week. Just, it was heavy, big groupings and running and huddling. This was a little bit more spread out and tempo, which it's good to know that we can do both.
A lot of ums in that clip there.
Oh, you're trying to think and figure out exactly how to.
No criticism of Ryan Day on that comment. I say all the time, too.
Yeah,
A lot of times you cut them out, though, I've heard, when you're
I try.
doing some sound.
Especially, can you play just the first 2 seconds again?
Sure, I can play. Here we go.
The issues are always going to be there. Just
All
a
you do is
matter
just-
of
We probably could have started with issues.
Yeah, you could have taken the elm
That's
out of
all
there. We're not
Hey,
going to nitpick.
we're in a race to get better, too.
Yeah, we are also. But
Every day we're
you
just
played
trying
the
to
name
get
on the front of the
better.
jersey. I know that.
Speaking of,
Right.
it's got me juice.
Oh, here we go. So, Bobby, yes, the fact that he's talking about that, I'm so damn looking forward to watching how Julian Sayin does in his first road start at the end of the month.
I was showing my kids on the way into the game. It's like, what's the next hard game for Ohio State? I'm like, well, Washington's
The
gonna
next
be
one.
The next
Yeah,
one.
right. The one
Most
right in front of
important
us.
game's always the next one. But I was like, the next game, their next tough game, Washington will be tough. Like, they're good. It'll be a difficult road environment. And I was showing the picture of the stadium because the stadium's awesome. It's right there on the sound. Like, it looks really good. It's got these huge awnings that come over top of the bleachers. They'll keep the sound in. Like, it's going to be loud, and they'll be juiced up and ready to go.
Here is Ryan Day evaluating the running backs.
I thought that everyone was running hard, but what we want to see is guys breaking tackles and then creating explosive runs. And I think there were some in there. I think there's some other ones that maybe we can look at to say, okay, how can we do this a little bit better? How can we break some of these tackles as we're getting to the second level? But when you're a running back, you're not tackled a whole bunch in preseason. So CJ's probably the most experienced out of the group. Well, he is. And then James, hasn't run a ton in a game, and Bo and Isaiah certainly haven't in college games. So it's going to be great to get on this film and use this as a learning experience.
Yeah, the Bo Jackson one is. You brought it up, Bobby, and it's true. It wasn't. There were some significant holes for him to go through on that one, but just getting him game experience, regardless of who it's against, is a big deal. I gotta believe.
Game reps.
Yeah.
Him going out there and playing, like Ryan was saying, getting tackled to the ground. Like, you don't do a ton of live tackling in practice. Just for injury prevention.
Right.
And so getting used to running through those tackles and getting back into the flow of that when you're not playing, like, that's a big deal.
I think this Illinois has been in the top 10 for a long. I can't remember what the exact number was, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, I
Since
saw that
Juice Williams was there.
Yeah.
I think, I did. They mentioned that on the Illinois Duke game Saturday, and that was their highest ranking, and that was at 11 Saturday.
What was
It
the
had been a
year
minute.
of Juice Williams that when they?
2007.
Yeah,
Okay, so you were gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I didn't mean to bring it
but
back.
they weren't top 10, were they?
I bet they were.
Might have been.
Probably after beating Ohio State.
True.
Yeah,
Although 7 other teams probably lost.
That's true. That's the thing, is a bunch of teams lost.
that Juice Williams, he's in the same category for me as Tim Biakabatuka. Guys that just.
They were as high as 13. Sorry, Tito. I didn't
That's
mean
going to
cut
say.
you off there.
It's somebody who will never, who never really, I don't say lived up to the hype, but Juice Williams had a really good college career, but somebody who didn't go doing it at the next level. But
Rashard Mendenhall, that's who you're thinking of.
Mendenhall, yeah.
He was good, yeah.
Then he got a little crazy. He had some awesome takes.
First top 10 ranking in 24 years.
Illinois got us. They were in 13 in the second to last AP poll. Went and played Southern Cal in the Rose Bowl.
Got smoked.
49-17.
Yeah, I knew that.
In 2001, Illinois was number 7 after winning the Big Ten championship. I don't remember that.
Me neither.
2001?
Yeah.
That was the year that if Ohio State, they played them the last home game of the season.
Oh, it's one.
That's where they started Scott McMullen, and then they started Krenzel the next week after Belisari got his DUI. I was
That's
at
right.
that game.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
On the sideline down there as a visitor?
Well,
or just,
it was a visit, but
Yeah.
you start out on the sideline, you watch it from up top. If Ohio State won that, they would have had a chance to win it. Assuming they would have beat Michigan like they did, they would have won a share of the Big Ten championship. But that was your Illinois split it with Northwestern, I think, and someone else.
And then who went to the did Illinois play that year in the Rose Bowl then, or?
I'm not sure.
I don't know about that one. That's interesting. Or that might have been Northwestern. I don't know that one. Anyway, but good for Illinois, though. They're relevant. Bert Bielema, whatever y'all call him. I think Hines would call him Bert Bielema. And the Fighting Illini, and that'll be hey, look, that's another tough one for Ohio State, too, in Champaign,
2001 Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Are you talking
01 season,
01
02
season?
Rose
Okay.
Bowl.
No, sorry. I'm looking at, let me move one over here.
See if you can beat the Juicers. See if the Juicers get it first.
So the Rose Bowl says it was Miami against Nebraska. Was that technically the
The
national
BCS
championship?
thing, yeah.
That would have been the national championship
Yeah.
then. And that was back
37-14.
before they had the +1, so yeah, that would have been.
Miami was in the Big East.
Yes, they were the Big East.
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
know if I knew that.
With
they were
Virginia
the Big
Tech,
East.
Virginia Tech, Pitt, and them all left and went. Oh yeah, that was the 01 Miami team that was really good.
Yeah.
37-14 over Nebraska in that one.
Eric Crouch. Nebraska lost the last game of the season in the Big 12 championship, but still had
Yes.
accumulated enough BCS
That's right.
points or whatever to still
That's
go.
right.